Here we go. My name is Chris McClary. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe if you'd like to get some very important daily information on how to surf collective energies. There's energies all around us. And we talk about how to surf that energy. So, very important stuff. Here's a couple more announcements. Number one, I just did a radio interview for Inner Ascension Radio, and it just got released this morning. It was a very in-depth discussion with J.M. DeBoard. He's a international renowned dream and sleep specialist. But anyway, he's talking about not just sleep deprivation, which we undoubtedly have in this country, but dream deprivation is pervading our country. And so I recommend going to Inner Zension. That's INNERZENSION. I'll put that in the notes below. And hit the radio button, and you'll be able to hear the latest released episode. These are released weekly. And then the next big announcement is that we have a new astrological chart. I just worked on this today. And this outer ring now is much more accurate about what we're going to be seeing out in the sky. As we talked about before, we were discussing sidereal astrology to get in alignment with, because if you go out and look for, say, Mercury tonight, on the tropical, which doesn't accurately depict where these planets are, the tropical system says it's in Capricorn. But if you go out there in your night sky and show your app, it's going to actually be in Sagittarius. So, but what we also talked about is that these constellations are not all the same size. And so I made these accurate. So for example, Libra and Aquarius are very short, while Sagittarius and Taurus are very big in the night sky. And that's accurately represented here. But we also added the 13th constellation. Now, this is very controversial. Ophiuchus, the snake bearer. We're going to be going through this together because ancients saw this constellation. It is on the solar path. Okay, there's a name for that. Dang it, I can't remember the name. But anyway, this is this point right here between Scorpio and Ophiuchus is where the galactic center is for the universe. All right, or the galactic, our galactic center. And then on the opposite side of that is Osiris and the belt of Orion and the hunter and the gatherer. So all this is represented. I'm not going to go through the extensive information about that. We're just going to go through this together as we normally do. Here is the DreamBot run. Okay. And we have 3 memes here. In the red is communication and learning. So I'm thinking Mercury. It's all about communication. It's even learning in there, learning and asking and faith and talking. So it's all about Mercury, the red. The blue is all about relationships. So girl and Peter and all these names and boyfriend and married. So, and even the word related. So it's relationships. Clearly relationships are in there. Now the kind of the smallest little meme here is the orange. And this is kind of a little bit about exchange of wealth. So paid, chance like poker, chance, giving, grab, bag. So I don't know. It's not really significant, but if you combine relationships with wealth, what do you get? You get Venus. And that's exactly what we see tomorrow evening. Now we've got the sun approaching Pluto, but it's not going to actually make the conjunction until the 11th. So And it does, and this doesn't necessarily show up in the DreamBot run. So what we have, according to the DreamBot run, is at 7 p.m. Central Time is a square between the Moon and Venus. Venus being all about your relationships, particularly your really close social relationships. So, but in this case, you're kind of feeling a little bit more needy for affection, and you might be more sociable and romantic, but it's a little bit more careless. And even while you're doing that, maybe even feeling a little lonely and uncomfortable. Harmony is tested. And then also financial. Venus has that little financial piece in there. So be watching out for some financial, maybe not distress, but just some annoyances. We'll put it that way. All right, that's the 9th or Wednesday. And then Thursday is the 10th, and the skies clear up nicely as the sun gets even closer to Pluto, but still not quite there yet. And then we have a sextile between the moon and Mercury. Remember, we talked about Mercury and the DreamBot. The two biggest memes were relationship, which we saw on Wednesday. And then on Thursday, we're seeing a little bit more relationships. This is about communication, but good communication. So it's a little bit easier to talk. Your mood's a little bit better. Your feelings are being shared. You're feeling more caring. Might even have a better memory. So test taking might be a good time for that. And then 12 hours later, so now we're getting in the evening on Thursday evening, 6:46 Central, the moon is going to make a conjunction with Neptune. So we're getting ready for bed and big time dreams. It's a perfect time in Pisces. So the influence is lots of psychic energy, lots of dreams, lots of intuition. So make sure you maybe want to go to bed early and get some extra dreams in there. So what is the influence here? Well, on both days, we're looking at the Sidereal chart up here, and it's looking like Aquarius. Moon is in Aquarius this entire time, even until the next CIRF report on Thursday evening. So we can see that. But let's start with Wednesday. We want to pull out the very specific traits of Aquarius that are going to be good for this particular alignment. And being that we're going to have problems with neediness, uncomfortable and lonely feelings associated with social environment, I think it'd probably be best to just be independent. So that's the Aquarius. One of the positive aspects of Aquarius, it could be negative in there, but the positive side of this is that we do feel strong. We don't need other people to fulfill us. We just go about our business and be very independent. So, a lot of people ask, maybe not a lot of people, but hey, I don't have any Aquarius in my chart. You're asking me to do something that I don't have. And in my opinion, wholeness is really about uncovering all these different aspects that you have in yourself. And we all have some Aquarius in us. And when we get like too swayed into one particular influence, I think we're very unbalanced. So I think a very balanced view is to practice being, so a codependent tomorrow would be exacerbated greatly by this square here. They're going to be even more codependent. So I think the ultimate skill for practicing getting out of codependency is to practice independence. Easier said than done, but is to trust yourself, self-compassion, believing in yourself, not needing other people to fulfill us. All right, so that's there. Now, we also need to talk about the risks of Aquarius, and that is maybe too rebellious, too out there, can't associate with other people, too judgmental, lost in thought. Maybe you get aloof. We're not talking about aloof here. We're not talking about when someone's communicating to you, don't just turn your other cheek or just ignore what they're saying. That's very aloof. That's not a very good independence. So watch out for aloofness, watch out for rebelliousness when you're trying to bring in a lot more of Aquarian. All right. On Thursday, it's the same thing because the moon's still in Aquarius. So we can just keep on being Aquarius. But in this case, we want to, let's see. Oh, okay. So Aquarius is all about, collective concern and harmonizing. And so this is very advantageous aspect for collective concern because we're able to communicate and we're in the mood for talking and we can feel other we're more empathetic. Okay. So, get in the collective mindset on Thursday and you've got the green light for social. So you don't have to be too independent. You can get back into the group and kind of lead towards a collective concern of your choice. So here's what we have in summary. On the square, we have, let's see here. I redid this and I forgot to put this back up. So it really says Moon square Venus, but it still says feel pure awareness in the now in order to avoid. No, that's not true. Oh well. There. Okay. There we go. That's so the green light for social engagement best used with Aquarian concern for the collective. Oh, all right. So I messed up the Instagram. Never mind on the Instagram. All right. So anyway, what's this in review? Bring out your Aquarian. Okay. Independence on Wednesday, and then collective concern on Thursday. And go watch the awesome interview with J.M. DeBoard on Innerzention Radio. Okay. You can Google that and you can find it on Spotify, iTunes, Castbox, etc. Great views on the importance of not just sleeping, but dreaming and how to get all that stuff done. All right. We'll see you on Thursday night. Put it on your calendar. We'll do another live report and squeak out another CIRF report. Things are rolling right along. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you.